story of civilization. This is the story of Egypt.
My whole life, I've been fascinated by the pyramids. When I was a little kid, I would sit in my room and I would just draw them over and over again with all the little grids for all the bricks. And then, eventually, I grew up and started watching Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. And, well, that's like probably a whole separate video. But, fast forward to just a few weeks ago when we got on a plane, flew to Egypt, and fulfilled a lifelong dream to see the pyramids in person, up close. So we're like probably about halfway through to Giza right now. We just left a little while ago. We are on our way to the pyramids. That's right, the granddaddy of all the places to go. Certainly, we're gonna go inside. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna do the entire tourist experience: camels, inside, outside, pictures, video, everything. So we're almost there. Let's see what traffic's like. Trend that's been emerging at these places is that once you're in the door, video goes off, and the reason for that is obviously because tourism is a huge part of the industry here, so they want to try to preserve it as much as possible for other people to come. So it's really looming over us now. We're almost there. The anticipation is part of the fun, right? That's what they say. All right, so this is it. We are finally here, and here we go.
Okay, two Egyptian pounds, for the toilet attendant.
Okay.
They can give you the change back.
Well, look what that is.
On the plateau of Giza, we find the full flowering of pyramid tomb construction. And the mightiest of all, the Great Pyramid of Cheops, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
I'll not tell you how old I am because the only one in the family, big family. No.
So when we got there, we had to wait in line, buy our tickets, and then go through the security checkpoint. Not a big deal. Except, I guess there was something about my camera gear that looked too fancy, I guess? Which is weird because there were tons of people there with much nicer, more expensive, fancier cameras than mine, but I think the problem is once you put the microphone on top, all bets are off. So security people came over, made me take it off, made me put it in my bag, and from that point forward... So once again, I had to leave my camera behind, microphone, camera, everything, because we're about to go inside the Great Pyramid, which we're not allowed to record in. You can see the pyramid right there. That is it, right behind me, with Cairo sort of out in the background. On our way to Giza, our guide told us 2 things. First, he could not come into the pyramids with us because there's not enough space. They don't let guides go in. The second thing was that recording video is not allowed inside the pyramids. Don't do it. It's forbidden. They take it so seriously that there's actually a guard inside the burial chamber whose sole responsibility is to make sure that nobody takes photos and nobody takes video. Do not, under any circumstances, sneak your phone out and turn the brightness on the screen all the way down and then just walk around like it's off. Do not do that. Absolutely not. And whatever you do not take advantage of the fact that there's like 24 tourists and 1 guard standing in the corner. Don't do it. This is a contraband video from inside the Great Pyramid. Love it. You need to be climbing up this tiny, tiny little shaft. You can see the ceiling is right above me, and I am hunched over like this. Can you grab those? Yep. Thank you. Just dropped my glasses. We are ascending to the top of the pyramid. I've got Haley's butt right in my face. Get this. Arjun right behind me. And we are going up the tunnel. Okay, we're almost to the top of the second chamber. As you can see, it's a lot more spacious. Larger shaft. So this is the chamber. This is the main burial chamber. It's dark. It's a giant square room. Can't really see very much, but this is it. Kind of see. They say don't take any photos or pictures, but you can see everybody has their cameras out. And I don't know, are we going back out or do you want to stay in for another?
I'm pretty warm.
It's incredibly humid in here, which you can understand because obviously the moisture has absolutely nowhere to go. But this is it. Just a big square room, no bigger than the average living room, I would say, and yet encased in millions of tons of stone. One of the most intricate structures that man has ever created, allegedly. We're about to head back out the way we came in, and I'm gonna lose light. Oh my god. It feels so much cooler just coming out of that chamber. There's a lot less traffic going out than there was coming in, but this will give you a better idea with some good light of what the actual secondary chamber looks like. This was an actual tunnel that was dug by the builders of the pyramid rather than the tunnel we used to come in, which was dug to intersect with that tunnel after the fact. But again, you can get an idea of just how claustrophobic this is. Squatted down the entire way. It's nice that they have these lights here. Makes it a lot easier to move, and you can see where you're going. That was maybe a total of 10 minutes. Probably the best $25 minute for minute that I've ever spent. To be crawling around in there and something that will persist long after you're gone is just sort of an incredible experience that really makes you feel very small in the best possible way in terms of just history, of understanding your place in things and how this monolith will just persist well beyond you. It was sort of similar to how I felt on Kilimanjaro, just standing there thinking, wow, this thing absolutely does not care about me. It has been and will always be. Think about 4,000 years of history and what this thing has seen. Changes of every variety in the world. We think about the span of 50 or 60 years as a long time. Think about 4,000 years. It's unfathomable, at least for me, to consider the sheer scale and scope of history, and that this thing has just been here throughout all of it. And now we're moving on to the other pyramids to check those out. So here we go. Having just come out of the Great Pyramid, we're gonna do the next touristy thing you can do, the next most touristy thing you can do. The camel ride.
Hold tight and lean back. Yeah.
Great. Okay, there we go. Hold tight and lean back.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm on a camel in front of the pyramids. You can never take that away from me. Camel is also key, so there you go. That's happening too. The ability to travel to the different parts of the world that almost feel like different planets, and being able to experience this kind of thing, the kind of thing you only see in movies, and then to think about how people who work and live around here, this is just a thing in the background for them. It just really makes you think about different perspectives and contrast different values of scenery and history. It's especially strange to me that this place has gone from being like a tomb and a temple and a construction project to now just being a place that people come to take pictures in front of. And that's not just what it is, obviously, but like a large portion of it is just taking photos, and now it's Instagram or assholes on YouTube. Yeah, that's me.
That's great. That's
It's not a video. It's not a video. It's a photo. How much?
We all on this film.
No, you look amazing right now. It was so cool to actually be there at the pyramids, to crawl around inside, to touch them, to feel them, to just be there in person. My entire life, I've kind of entertained these fantasies that maybe people couldn't have built these things. Maybe they were just too big, too colossal for humans to construct. But the strange thing was, when I was actually standing there looking up at them, all I could think was, yeah, we could do this. And it's not that I wasn't overwhelmed. It's not that they aren't massive and imposing and just awe-inspiring. It's actually quite the opposite. When you're actually there and you can touch the bricks, you can feel it. You can see how, if you threw enough effort and planning and just raw energy, people could do this. But I guess that's kind of the moral of every travel story, right? You get somewhere, you see things for yourself, and it changes your worldview. I know it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. Sometimes it's true. So there's just one thing here we haven't hit yet, and we almost forgot, but obviously you can't forget this.
The Sphinx, carved out of the living rock. On the body of a lion, the proud head of Khephren, the son of Cheops and builder of the second pyramid, keeps eternal vigil over the valley of the Nile.
So the Sphinx is pretty much the last thing we're doing today, at least here around the pyramids, because in just a few hours we jump the night train, the overnight train, down to Aswan so that we can then get on a Nile cruise back up to Luxor. So the adventure for today comes to a close, and tonight a whole new set of adventures begins. So here we go. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. There are 4 other parts to our Egypt adventure, so make sure you check those out. In the meantime, hit the like button, show me some love, hit the subscribe button because there are new videos coming every week, and I will see you, no, you will see me in the next video.